Hello and welcome in. This is Divination Rainbow. Thank you so much for joining in for today's reading. This will be a love reading today. We're going to be taking a look into the connection that you are thinking of. We will be exploring the current feelings of the person on your mind in regard to the connection, and then also pulling through a little bit of guidance about what we can see that may be coming next based off of the current energy. We're going to be taking a look into some charms, and I did also pull out an oracle deck to pull through some messages for you in regard to next steps in the connection. And then we'll close it off today with a beautiful quote. So, a lot to get to. Let's not take any more time and jump right in. I'm going to be taking a look now into some of the current energy, and then we'll take a look into what is likely to come next. All right, allow me to see, please, into the current energy. Interesting. A little bit of chaos. A little bit of chaos, a little bit of spat. I don't usually use that word, so that word might be significant to someone, a spat. Yeah, somebody having a little bit of a disagreement here, and then contemplating or maybe even getting to the point of being ready to walk away and figure out what else is there. Yeah, taking a break, needing a rest. So this could be a kind of situation where there was a little bit of a shakeup that has put you into a no contact situation, or this could be something where there was recently a little bit of discontent in the energy that was maybe putting you in a state of thinking about kind of taking a break. Yeah, not so happy with that 10 of Cups coming out in reverse. Maybe some feelings being really held back that was preventing you and your person from feeling really free in the connection as far as the emotional energy goes. A little bit of a block in the relationship, that's for sure. And then the 9 of Pentacles has also come out in the reverse. So I'm really seeing a situation here where there was some type of competition or disagreement that has put the connection into a really introspective state for either you or your person, or maybe both of you, questioning what it is that you really are wanting at this time. And I see you also being in a state of feeling like you're lacking a bit of your own personal freedom. And it's causing you to feel quite a bit of anxiety, especially negative energy in your headspace. Very interesting. So if this is your reading, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about here. This is a type of situation where you and this person had some kind of moment where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, where things were not really able to move forward because of not seeing eye to eye. And now it's causing a little bit of a swirling feeling of, where do we go from here? Now, that is what we are going to be taking a look at next. And the next card that came out is the Queen of Pentacles. So I do see here there is an opportunity from here for things to become much more grounded, for things to be moving towards a energy of more stability, and for a more prosperous time to be coming into this connection. What else is coming up next that we can see at this time, please? Okay. So then we're getting to a point here of passion being reignited in a quite strong way. And I also see here where this is falling under the 8 of Cups. This could also be the type of situation where there is a need to take action to prevent this from kind of fizzling out here. So a new passion is being ignited there, and action potentially being taken to prevent things from kind of, fizzling out. All right. But is the passion going to be there? Because right underneath the 4 of Wands, we're seeing the Queen of Wands in reverse. So this may be something where there was a lack of open freedom of expression, a lack of sensuality, a lack of desire in the connection. And I see someone here who kind of was just feeling left out. I see someone here who is just kind of really the observer and feeling maybe even more of a friendship vibe here. Very interesting. But there's still a lot of potential here for a very stable long-term connection with the Four of Wands, because the two of you potentially are very similar individuals, or you have a very familiar energy where you kind of feel like you belong together in a sense. Okay. And it's going to take hard work to get there. It's not just going to work itself out. Now, seeing the Eight of Swords here, the first word I heard in my mind was perseverance. So if you want to prevent this from spiraling and going back through another loop or another cycle, I'm really seeing a need here to work hard on finding that common ground, being able to find those moments of quiet to be able to bring more stability into the connection, and having the mental strength and the wherewithal to be able to see that through to the end if this is something that is really important to you. And what more can we see to close this out for what is coming next based off of this current energy that we saw here? So, okay, that's really a positive thing to see here. There is an opportunity for quality time, and that could definitely ease your mind a bit here. Maybe finding those opportunities to reconnect in an emotional sense and really share your inner more feelings and thoughts with your person, having those opportunities to kind of reestablish that connectivity, that sense of, I'm hearing the word tribe. And this is definitely something where, with the newness of spring, I definitely see in the imagery here some renewal is possible. And by working also on self-love, that definitely can create reflection opportunities where there is a potential for growth, because when you are operating from your highest state, you are able to see things from a higher perspective, and you will be able to have a more informed point of view at that point about what is needing to be brought into the connection. And at the bottom of the deck, we're seeing here that it really is an opportunity. There's a lot of hope here. Okay, there is a lot of strong, passionate energy. There is just going to be a time of really going in and getting the information that you can about how things have gotten to this point, and then formulating with that same desire that you started with how you can bring clarity into this connection and bring it to the next step. But with the communication, there is a hope here. There is a possibility here. Okay. That's very interesting. I can see now why this message needed to come through for someone. Absolutely, it can be a little bit of a challenging situation. With all the pink in the sky here, I am seeing a lot of opportunity to really nurture that self-love and to really bring love into this connection from a deeper place by doing so. There's absolutely opportunity here, but it does not come without hard work and perseverance. And good things do take time. But the seeds that we plant in the springtime, or depending on what you're planting, I guess, everything has a different growing season. But those things typically come around to harvest later in the summer or in the fall. So keeping an eye out for that and being mindful and not being afraid to be patient with each other and create that space and that time for the water energy, the emotional energy, the more mystical side of yourself, the more intuitive side of yourself and of the connection to really start flowing again. Yeah. All right. Let me actually clear some space here. And then I'm going to pull out, I think next we'll do some charms and just see what other confirmations we can pull through for you. I'm going to get a healthy scoop. I feel like last time I felt like I should have gotten 2 scoops. So I am gonna just get a second scoop here. Okay, interesting. Definitely is going to take, oh yeah, see all of this amethyst, bringing back the emotional and the more intuitive energy into your connection. But look at this. Oh my gosh, the swans. Someone here could be a Leo. We got the lion out here. We got the skull and crossbones, a hammer. It's going to take work, yeah, if we want to keep this thing alive, right? The turtle, slow and steady. Turtle could also be a spirit animal for someone. We're seeing the Christmas sled. So wintertime could be very significant to this connection. Golf, the little foot. That reminds me of the Tar Heels. All right. We've got an umbrella here. Yeah, weathering the storm with this one. And I'm seeing it being a journey between the two of you where things have kind of gotten to a point before where it maybe hasn't always been smooth sailing, but there is an opportunity to repair things at this time, and you are heavily protected. A little teapot here. And then this one always confuses me. At first, I used to think it was something to do with sport, but I believe it's like a sewing machine. Comment and let me know if you can tell me what this little guy thing object is. Okay. All right. So I'm seeing a lot of different things here. I'm seeing a fragrance that could definitely be a very significant part of your connection is the type of fragrance, perfume, or cologne you or your specific person wears. I'm hearing gift, so that could have even been a gift that you all exchanged at one point in time. We got some definitely sacral energy here and some solar plexus energy here with your crystals, but a ton of intuitive and emotional energy. Just repeating message from the tarot spread that we saw, that the real like watery side, the emotional side of this connection needs to open back up. All right. And I am getting strong fire sign energy. There was quite a bit of fire energy coming through in the reading, but also here we have a lion. So someone could be a Leo. We have the swans, which always reminds me of a divine counterpart connection. And these two swans are nodding, facing each other face to face. So it's creating the shape of a heart. The angel here definitely, and it has a bow on it. So I feel like you are a very gifted and blessed individual. And this is something where you're being presented with a choice of how you would like to move forward. So I'm hearing for someone, definitely meditate on your decisions and the guidance that you take away from today's reading to be able to really work things through and be protected, knowing that you are protected is what I meant to say. I'm so grateful this Mercury retrograde is just about over, but knowing that you are protected and knowing that you will continue to be protected. But this connection is not going to fix itself, okay? We have a paintbrush, a hammer, and a skull and crossbones right here. So this is going to require some time, some communication, and some work. A little bit of effort, but it's not going to be a major lift. I just heard light work, light work. So thank you to the guides for pulling that through for us. Yeah, and I definitely am getting a strong energy of someone who is very wise here, someone who is very observant, sees a lot of what is going on around them, someone who others kind of look up to for their wisdom, their guidance. Yeah, this has to be sewing machines. If you're a seamstress, comment and let me know. There's 2 of them here. And that's such a random thing. I mean, I have hundreds of charms in here, but I mean, that's seriously, when I add charms to my beautiful little charm kit, I try to avoid putting in any duplicates of things that I already have. So that's kind of crazy, but they look different to me. Unless this is just something completely different, and you guys have to let me know because I'm not seeing it as anything else. All right. Interesting. Ooh, and almost forgot, but then I saw it again as I was getting ready to move everything away. Thank you, Spirit, for not letting me move too quickly. So Also, here, I do just want to point out the music. You guys could definitely be hearing a lot of song synchronicities at this time between you and your person, or either one of you may be musically gifted as well. All right, so let's go ahead and close this out with an oracle card that is just really going to be more connecting with you, the viewer, your energy at this time. And as you move forward, as you meditate on what we have discussed here today, wow, that's powerful. It's time to leave the old behind, rebirth, shedding the chrysalis, taking risks. So something was not working, okay? Something in this current energy. It's time to leave that behind to find more stability and bringing a balance to the divine feminine and divine masculine within oneself, but also within the connection. It's going to bring about a transformation. But it really feels like this is something that you have been putting a lot of thought and energy into and may already be manifesting in a new beginning. But I also see this being something that has taken a lot of emotional capacity and energy from you. So knowing when to take a step back and regroup. I'm definitely getting that energy for someone. And let's go ahead and take a look here. I really was not going to pull out my roomie today, but something was really calling me towards it. And now that the reading has unfolded, I'm definitely seeing why. So this is always something that helps me personally to bring in clarity, is pulling quotes and excerpts from different texts. And just depending on the day, depending on the subject, will really guide me in my decision. But for this love reading specifically, I was called to pull from the Essential Rumi. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. Again, it happens in my sleep. A core of wakefulness opens, but I have ways of ignoring that. You say, how long will you beg from others when there are things born of you that emperors want? Why waste time in meanness? Who else can say what you say to me? If I could repeat it, people passing by would be enlightened and go free. You are an ocean in my chest, where everyone changes places. Believer, unbeliever, cynic, lover, dervish, king. Last night, you came to my sleep asking, how are you? Locked out of life, waiting, weeping. This definitely feels more and more like a no contact situation after getting that and then hearing the waiting, weeping, and seeing this card. She has tears in her eyes. It's time to leave the old behind. And things that are happening in your mind may not yet be reflected in the 3D. That's okay. You can move forward with inner knowing. Sometimes it's hard. It might not always feel like enough. But that has to be enough. And finding a way to use what you got and make it work. So it's up to you what the transformation is going to be and how you're going to make it happen. But it seems like this is a really profound connection. So taking time to really go over the information that you have. Okay? But there is hope. And you are someone who has a lot of hope. whether you feel it within you at this time or not. So that certainly feels like the message for today, and I'm so grateful that you were able to be here to receive it at this time. Until we see each other in the next one, I hope you do take good care of yourself. Bye-bye for now.